welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to be doing a tutorial on chaturanga dandasana. So that is that tricep push-up that we come down in that a lot of us tend to collapse a little bit into. So we're going to talk about a few different exercises we can do to strengthen it and where we want to start. So first things first. When we're doing chaturanga dandasana, it takes a lot of core muscle as well as upper body. So we need both of those to be nice and strong to be able to move into that posture. So we're going to start really slow, and I'll give you levels to work your way up to get stronger and stronger as your own practice at home progresses. So a couple of exercises I like to do are core plank pose exercises, the ones that nobody likes to do. And I do have another video that I posted a while back that I'll link in the description below that you guys can check out that shows you different core postures in plank pose, going into plank and down dog, and that just helps to build that strength. So some of the poses that I didn't have in that video are some of the things I like to do. So what I like to do is I like to come into down dog. So spreading your fingers nice and wide, curling your toes under, and then you're pushing up and back into down dog. And taking a few moments, you can rock back and forth, bicycling your legs, warming up your body here. Coming up on your tippy toes, bending into the knees, placing your chest on your thighs, pushing the floor away, fingers are spread nice and wide, and then exhaling, bringing those heels as far down as you can. Pulling that chest closer to your thighs. Now from here, we're going to shift our weight forward. So we're going to walk our hands forward, and we're going to come down onto our knees. We're going to set up for a nice plank here. So this is level 1. So we're going to pull the shoulder blades on the back side of our body. Our sit bones are dropped. Sometimes I like to raise my legs if I feel that serves me. Other times, toes down are totally fine. So we're nice and strong through the core, broad through the heart center. Our gaze is just in front of our mat here. We're going to curl the toes back under, and we're pushing back down dog. So essentially what we're doing is we're coming from down dog into plank. So we'll do this 2 more times. Shifting our weight forward, shoulders over our wrists, dropping our knees, and then coming into our plank. Dropping those sit bones, broaden the shoulders, nice and strong, gaze is in front. Curling the toes under, we're going to push all the way back, chest to thighs, heels down as best as you can into down dog. One more time, shifting the weight forward, coming down to your knees, setting up for a nice strong plank here. And then we're going to curl the toes and push back down dog. And taking a breath in down dog. So this is level 1. So if you'd like to move to level 2, what you can do is shift your weight forward into plank. In this plank, we're setting up for a nice strong plank. So our sit bones are dropped, shoulders away from ears, nice broad through the heart center, pushing back through the heels, nice and strong here. And then we curl the toes and we step back, down dog. Taking a breath here, then shifting our weight forward into plank again. Holding this plank nice and strong. So your thighs are engaged, your core is engaged, your heart center open, and your shoulders are directly over your wrists. Curling the toes, and then pushing back down dog. We'll do that one more time. Shifting our weight forward, coming into plank here. Holding nice and strong, and breathe. And then pushing all the way back into down dog. Taking a couple breaths here. Now another exercise I like to do is coming into dolphin. So you're going to come onto your forearms. Pushing the floor away with your forearms. You're coming into the weight on your heels. So this is dolphin pose. Spreading the fingers, pushing those forearms in. This is going to strengthen your upper body. And then you're going to push back up. And then push back down dog. Doing this 2 more times. Shifting our weight forward as we set up for dolphin. Setting up for dolphin and then pushing the weight back on our heels. Core is engaged. Our heart center nice and broad. Shoulders together on the back side of our body. Holding nice and strong. Curling those hands, pushing back up. And then coming down dog. One more time. Coming all the way back down. Taking a breath here. And then all the way back up and down dog. Coming to your hands and knees. You can spread your knees to the edges of your mat as you come to child's pose. And just taking a couple of breaths in child's pose, and then when you're ready, coming all the way up. So that's a few exercises you can do, and I know that one after another seems really intense, and that's just to show you the different levels and the different things you can play with. So you choose what works for you. If you are at the beginning part of working with plank pose, then just go on your knees and start there. So it's really important to have a really strong plank to be able to move into chaturanga. So a few things with chaturanga you want to remember. When we're coming down into chaturanga, we're bending at the arms into a 90-degree angle and we're pushing against our body. We want to almost feel like the inside of this arm is brushing up against the side of our chest. So we want to squeeze those arms in nice and close, and that's going to help with building that strength. So I'm going to show you a couple of levels here. So we're going to set up for our plank pose on our knees. So this would be essentially level 1. So spreading your fingers nice and wide, shoulders over the wrist, and sometimes coming up on your knees like this, for some people, work really well. So what you want to do with chaturanga dandasana is you want to push your weight slightly forward so that your shoulders surpass your wrists, and then you're going to bend at the wrists 90 degrees, and then you pause here. And then you release all the way to the mat, and then you continue with an inhale to baby cobra. And then we'll push back, hands and knees, and then essentially we go back down dog. So we're going to try this again. We're coming back onto our knees here. Shoulders stack over wrists, and you're on your knees here, dropping the sit bones, arms are nice and strong, gaze slightly ahead. You're going to shift your weight forward, hugging those arms into the body, bending at the elbows, halfway down, pausing. This is chaturanga. And then releasing all the way to the mat, pushing the tops of the feet in. You can come up into baby cobra, squeezing those glutes and the thighs. And then we're going to push back, down dog. So that is level 1. So the really important thing with it is to pull those arms in nice and close, bending into the elbow. You want nice broad heart center here, pulling those shoulder blades on the back side of our body. And with chaturanga, we come down halfway, we pause. That's the pose that's the chaturanga dandasana. So if we just come all the way down and drop to the floor, we're skipping the pose. So we go from plank, then coming down into chaturanga dandasana. Now for some people, when we do a flow, we sometimes jump right back into chaturanga dandasana and skip plank altogether. So that's an advanced version. So now the next version we're going to do is up on our toes. So spreading fingers nice and wide, coming up on the toes, push back through the heels. The legs are internally pulled together, so the thighs pulling together, sit bones squeezing, sit bones are dropped, nice and strong here. So what we do here is we shift off the toes forward. So we're surpassing the wrist, bending at the elbows halfway down. This is chaturanga here. This gives you an opportunity to flip your toes as you push up into upward facing dog. This is a second level version. Curling the toes under, and then we push back. That's down dog. So we'll go through that one more time. So this is level 2, shifting our weight forward, coming into plank. Pushing back through the heels, up on the toes, fingers spread nice and wide. Bending into the elbows alongside the body, brushing the side, hold as you flip the toes, and then you push up, engaging those thighs and glutes. This is upward facing dog, curling the toes, and then pushing back down dog. So that would be your level 2. So once again with that, what's really important when you're coming up on your toes is to use your toes to push you slightly forward. Excuse me. So when you bend at the elbow, you are now lined up with the elbow. If we bend at the elbow without shifting forward, then we're not at the right angle and it's gonna be a lot harder. So it's super important to shift your weight forward, then bend, and now we're at the right angle to be able to have that strength to be able to move through the posture a little bit more easily. Okay, so now if you've got those two and you got them down pat and you're still trying to build your strength and you're trying to figure out how you can add more to what you're already doing, we're going to go into level 3. So this is advanced for the people that want a challenge. So starting in down dog, curl the toes under, pushing back, shifting the weight forward, coming into plank pose. Setting up for a nice strong plank, we're going to push off the toes. Coming down halfway, chaturanga. You're going to pause here as you flip your toes and push up, upward facing dog. Now you're going to curl your toes back. You're going to come all the way back down. You're going to touch your nose to the mat. You're going to push up, a push up, tricep push up, and push back. Downward facing dog. So you're doing a chaturanga but backwards. So you're just adding in a tricep push up, and that's going to build the strength. So I'll run you through that one more time. So coming into down dog, inhale here. Exhale, shift the weight forward. We're going to come off the toes, halfway down. Curling the toes, pushing up, upward facing dog. We're curling the toes back. We're coming all the way back down, touching the mat with our nose, pushing up and back, downward facing dog. And taking a breath. And then coming all the way down. So a few things to remember is start with your knees, on your knees is a good place to start. Build the building blocks. So nice broad shoulder, shoulder blades together on the back side. You want to pull those arms in nice and close. Excuse me. And then you want to engage the core in the back. And if you're up on your toes, you want to push through those heels. One of the most important things, besides bending in the elbows alongside the body, is you want to push your weight forward before you come down. If you don't, then you're not going to have the strength to be able to hold yourself into chaturanga dandasana. So I hope some of those tips help you guys with working in your chaturanga. It's a very hard posture, especially since you are pausing in it for a moment. So give yourself some grace and some time. You will get there, and be patient and loving to yourself in the journey. And yeah, if you have any other questions or anything like that, post them down below and I can answer them. And that's all for me for today for our tutorial. And the next video will be a meditation one, and then I think later on in the week we'll have a yoga practice. All right? Have a wonderful day or evening, and lots of love to you all. Namaste.